The first time the baby dragon saw the bruises on Mara's arms, the station alarms began to scream. No one else noticed. Not the patrol drones. Not the diplomats drifting past the galley's transparent walls. Only the smallest dragon on the largest space station in known territory tilted his horn head and felt something crack open inside his chest. Because dragons, even young ones, were not supposed to feel that way. And yet, he did. Mara kept her sleeves down as she always did, stirring nutrient broth beneath the soft of the orbital ring. Her smile was steady. Too steady. The kind of smile humans learned when pain became routine. She didn't see the small shadows slip closer behind her, scales shimmering like molten copper under artificial light. "What happened to you?" the hatchling asked, his voice a warm hiss threaded with sparks. Mara flinched. That was the first sign, and it was only the beginning. The station was called Aurelian Spire, a neutral hub suspended between three empires in one fragile peace. Humans were guests here, laborers, useful, replaceable. Mara knew that when she signed the off-world contract to escape a dying Earth. She hadn't known she would become invisible. The bruises were from Overseer Kroll, a Keth administrator whose species believed pain increased efficiency. Complaints went nowhere. Humans were biologically resilient. The report said, acceptable loss margins. Mara accepted it too, until the baby dragon noticed. His name was Pyrrhus, son of High Flame Archon Velthar, ruler of the Dracory Dominion. Pyrrhus was barely 10 cycles old, his wings still too small for sustained flight, his fire more light than heat. He spent his days wandering the spire under watchful sensors, bored with politics, curious about everything, especially the human cook who hummed old Earth songs while she worked. "What happened?" Pyrrhus asked again, eyes glowing faintly. Mara swallowed. "Kitchen accident," she lied gently. Pyrrhus leaned closer. His pupils narrowed, seeing more than skin. Dragon saw heat, emotion, truth, and what he saw next changed everything. Her pain wasn't accidental. It was patterned, controlled, repeated. The hatchling recoiled, a low rumble vibrating his tiny chest. Around them, the galley lights flickered as his emotion spiked. Fire responded to feeling. Always had. "My father says humans are adaptable," Pyrrhus said slowly. "But this hurts you." Mara smiled. "That practice thing again. It's fine, kid. I've had worse." That was when Pyrrhus made a decision no one expected him to make. He reached out and took her hand. The station alarm screamed louder. Dracory law forbade physical bonding with non-dragons. Emotional imprinting was dangerous, unpredictable. High Flame Archon Velthar had warned his son countless times. And yet, Pyrrhus held on. Mara felt warmth surge through her veins, not burning but comforting, like standing near a hearth on a frozen night. Her bruises tingled. The pain dulled. Pyrrhus gasped. "I can feel it," he whispered. "All of it." Across the spire, Velthar stiffened on his obsidian throne as ancient wards flared. His son had crossed a line. Security descended on the galley in seconds. Drones, Keth enforcers. One furious dragon lord. "What have you done?" Velthar thundered, wings unfurling in a blaze of light. Pyrrhus turned, placing himself between Mara and the soldiers. Tiny wings spread. Pathetic, defiant. "She is harmed," Pyrrhus said. "You taught me fire protects." The room went silent. None of us were prepared for the truth that followed. Velthar looked past his son, truly looked at the human for the first time. His ancient eyes saw the faint echoes of violence still clinging to her skin. He smelled fear masked by resolve. The dragon lord's jaw tightened. "This is not our concern," he said, voice like cracking stone. "Release her." Pyrrhus shook his head. Sparks danced along his horns. "If we ignore pain because it is smaller than us," he said, struggling with words too big for his age. Then we are smaller than it. A Keth overseer laughed. That was his mistake. Pyrrhus breathed. The fire was weak, barely a flame, but it carried intent. The overseer's armor melted just enough to brand him with the Dracary's sigil of judgment. He screamed, collapsing. Alarms howled. Treaties trembled. And that was only the beginning. Mara should have been terrified. Instead, tears streamed down her face as years of swallowed rage finally had somewhere to go. She pulled Pyrrhus close without thinking, shielding him with her own body. "Stop," she begged. "Please don't hurt him." Veilthar stared at her. A human shielding a dragon. Something ancient shifted inside him. The Keth delegation demanded execution. The human councils demanded nothing, afraid to anger their hosts. Veilthar felt the weight of empires pressed down on his wings. And then he did something that shocked the galaxy. He knelt. "I will hear this human," Veilthar declared. The chamber erupted. Dragons did not kneel. Not to humans. Not to anyone. Mara's voice trembled as she spoke of Earth, of contracts, of being useful and invisible, of bruises hidden beneath sleeves, because pain was the price of survival. As she spoke, Pyrrhus felt something else awakening inside him. Not fire. Justice. Around the halfway mark of her story, Veilthar realized the impossible truth. This wasn't about a human cook. This was about what the Dracary had become, and it was not what he expected. Dracary legend spoke of the first flame, a power born not of destruction, but of guardianship. It had faded as dragons grew mighty and distant. Listening to Mara, Veilthar felt its embers stir. The moral dilemma was clear. Punish one overseer and appease allies, or challenge a system built on quiet suffering. Veilthar chose fire. He declared Aurelian Spire a sanctuary station. All laborers granted protection under Dracary law. Pain as management was outlawed. Enforcement absolute. Empires protested. Threatened war. Veilthar only smiled. Then come learn what our fire truly means. Pyrrhus watched, awestruck. His father wasn't angry. He was proud, but victory came at a cost. Assassins struck weeks later. Not at Veilthar. At Mara. They found her in the galley, blood pooling, breath shallow. Pyrrhus arrived first, shrieking in terror as his fire finally ignited in full. He poured everything into her. Too much. Dragons were not meant to heal humans. The energy feedback nearly tore him apart. Veilthar arrived in time to save his son, but Mara's heart stuttered, fading. She looked at Pyrrhus, smiling through pain. "You did good, kid." What I saw next changed everything. Her hand glowed, not dragon fire, human resilience. Humans, it turned out, had evolved something strange on dying Earth, a latent adaptability even dragons hadn't measured. Combined with Dracary flame, it sparked something new. Mara lived. So did Pyrrhus. The bond remained. Years passed. Aurelian Spire became a symbol. Humans walked openly. Dragons watched closely. Pain no longer hid in sleeves. Pyrrhus grew. Stronger. Wiser. Still gentle. On the day he took his first true flight, he circled the station once, then landed beside Mara in the galley that had started it all. "Ready?" she asked. He nodded. Together, they fed 1,000 souls. And the galaxy learned a simple, dangerous truth. The smallest fire, when lit for the right reason, can burn an empire down or light the way forward.